Hello, my yarny friends. I'm Sara Sach, and welcome back to my crochet channel. Today's video is our second video for our Crochet Along, the big striped tote bag. Now, if you would like to know what we did in the first video, you can click that link that's right up there, or you can click the link that's down in the notes underneath the video. On video 1, I gave you the information for what materials that you need to make our big striped tote bag. And then we also did step 1, which was rows 1 through 31, which is the bottom of our bag, and then we stitched a trim around the edge. Today's video, we're going to be combining step 2 and step 3 because we're going to be building up the sides of our bag. And I'll show you how to do that fading technique, but again, you don't have to use that technique. It's a lot of fun and it's super easy, but it's also a super sturdy and strong bag that will hold a lot of stuff. Like you saw in that first video, it'll even hold 2 chihuahuas. Okay, so again, if you want to know about step 1, I added that video link down in the notes underneath the video, as well as a link to the written crochet pattern. Each day we're adding new pictures and new notes to the pattern. Once the pattern is complete, there will be a PDF file available. So, if you want that information, just click that link that's down in the notes underneath this video. All right, let's get started with our second video for steps 2 and 3 of our big striped tote bag. Now, just a reminder, we are using our K-hook, which is a 6.50 millimeter crochet hook, and our entire bag is stitched using 2 strands of medium weight number 4 yarns. All right, so we've stitched our trim on, and now we're going to begin building the sides of our bag. We're not changing colors just yet. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to stitch a single crochet in the next 29 single crochet stitches. Then we'll stitch the 2 that are in the corner together. And then we'll repeat that on all 4 sides. Let me bring my camera in so you can see that a little bit closer. I'm still using 2 strands and I'm still using my main color. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be stitching in the back loops only for this row. All right, so what we're going to do, if you look at the tops of your stitches, you'll see that there are loops on both sides. The loops on this side are your front loops only. The loops on this side are your back loops only. And only for this row will we be working in the back loops only. So we'll go in that first stitch in the back loop only and stitch a single crochet. So there's 1, and we're going to stitch 29 single crochets across, working in the back loops only. By working in the back loops only, this is going to help your bag hold its shape just a little bit better on the bottom. And you'll know that you're doing it right if you see this row of loops that are not worked. All right, so let's work across and stitch 1 single crochet in the back loops only. So I worked across that first side, stitching 1 single crochet in the next 29 stitches. That brings us to the corner where we stitch those 2 in the same stitch there. And we're going to stitch these 2 together. That's called a single crochet decrease. We're still working in the back loops, So we're going to go in that next back loop and pull up a loop. Then we'll go in the next one and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook instead of 2. Yarn over and go through all 3 of those loops. So we stitch those 2 single crochets together in the back loop only. That's going to help that corner be just a little bit more crisp. All right, and then we'll repeat this on the last 3 sides. You'll stitch 1 single crochet in the next 29 single crochet stitches, stitching in the back loops only. And then when you get to those last 2 stitches that are the corner, you'll stitch those together just like we did here. And you'll notice that it will already begin to form the corner of your bag. All right, so we're going to repeat what we just did on this first side 3 more times. So I stitched all the way around, 29 single crochets on each side, and stitched the 2 together in a single crochet decrease. So that gives us 30 stitches on each side. All right, so here's my last 2 that I joined together in a double crochet decrease. This is the chain 1. We're going to skip the chain 1 and we're going to join to the first single crochet where we started with a slip stitch and chain 1. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to stitch a single crochet in each single crochet around. We're not going to do the back loops only anymore. That was just for this row, and you can see how it makes it stand up and begin forming the sides of our bag. All right, so we're still using our color 1, and we're going to stitch 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets, working all the way around our bag. We're not doing any decreases or stitching together, just 1 single crochet in each of those single crochets around, still using our 2 strands of yarn in our color 1. All right, so 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets around, all the way around our whole bag, and then we'll join back to our first single crochet. I stitched 1 single crochet in each of the single crochets around. Here's where we started. I'm going to join to the single crochet with a slip stitch and chain 1. All right, and so now what we're going to do is we're going to continue to repeat this row, which is row 32, for 5 more rows. And counting the row where we did our stitches in the back post, we'll have 7 rows of this color, and then we'll switch to our next row. And on that next row, which will be row 38, then we will bring in our color number 2. All right, so what you need to do is repeat this row here, which is row 32, for 5 more rows. And again, counting the row where we did our back loop only, which was row 31, you'll have 7 rows of our color 1. So 1 single crochet in each single crochet around, join back to our first single crochet, and chain 1 for 5 more rows. So I have stitched those 5 additional rows around my bag. And so you're going to have a total of 7 in this color 1 for the side of our bag, because this is 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, and 37. All right, so now we're going to begin that fading technique. So what you're going to do is you're only going to cut off one of your strands of color 1, and we're going to bring in our second color. And let me show you how we're going to do that. So here is where we're going to bring it in. I'm going to turn this around so that you can see. We're going to take out that chain 1. My hook in. We're dropping that first color of yarn and we're bringing in our next one. So we're going to set it like that, and for our first chain 1 to get us up on top, we brought in our second color. We'll snug everything down, and now we'll just continue single crocheting with one strand of our color 1 and one strand of our color 2. And we'll repeat row 31 . So, isn't that interesting? All right, so what we're going to do, we brought in our color 2 and we took off one of our strands of color 1. We're still stitching with 2 strands, and we're going to repeat 1 single crochet in each of our single crochets around, joining to our first single crochet and chain 1. So now I have completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows with 1 strand of my color 1 and 1 strand of my color 2. Now, I realize this is going to go just a little bit fast. So what you need to do is pause the video as needed and then come back in and pick back up, okay? Because this is going to be monotonous if I do every single crochet for all these rows. So now we're going to do 2 strands of our color 2. I've already cut off my color 1, and I'm going to bring in my second strand of my color 2, and we'll do that chain 1, snug everything down. And so now we'll just single crochet in each of those single crochet stitches, working all the way around just like we did on this section. And again, we're going to have 6 rows of our purple with 2 strands of color 2, just like we did here with our 1 strand each. All right, so 1 single crochet in each single crochet around, and then again all the way around and join back to our first single crochet. And it's real important, I didn't talk about this before, but it's real important that you don't join to that chain 1, but join to the first single crochet. If you accidentally join to the chain 1 instead of the single crochet, you're going to accidentally add a stitch every row, and the top of your bag will spread out. So you want to make sure on every row when you come back around that you join to the single crochet and then chain 1. And so now to complete video 2, which is both step 2 and step 3, we have done the stitches for the solid of our color 1 like we did here in the red. Then we did one of our color 2 and one of our color 1 like we did here in the red and white. Now we're going to do 2 strands of our purple like we did here in the white. Then you're going to change it to one strand of your color 3, which is my mango, and one strand of my purple, like we did here with the white and the blue. And you'll stitch an additional 6 rows. All right. And I decided not to go ahead and do all this in this one video because that's a lot of stitching and a lot of single crochets. We understand how to change our colors. We understand how to join it in, and we know that each one of these blocks needs to be 6 rows. And to complete up through here, the solid, color 1 and 2, 2 of color 2, and then 1 each of color 2 and color 3 up through here. Then on Friday, we're going to complete the end here. We're going to do the 2 solids of our color 3 and our handle. And so you have a lot of crochet stitching to do to get you up through the end of part 2 and 3 and be ready for Friday. And I'm super excited to see how all your big striped tote bags are going to turn out. So be sure and post a picture of your progress and when you're finished to the PPD Puppy Love Crochet group on Facebook. And you can find that link down in the notes under this video. All right, you better get stitching, and so must I.